we pause for a second or two. This is episode 131, Actionable Structure. The pause framework is a framework of emotional skills. This framework is a structure. Most often, when we think about emotions, feelings, inclinations, intuitions, reactions, sentiments, opinions. When we think about all that stuff, most often we feel that it feels complex. It feels confusing, and that it's not really good for anything. That emotions are there simply to mess with us. Seldom do we feel like emotions are there to be made use of, to assist us in any way. That is seldom the case. The pause framework of emotional skills is just that. It is a structure, a framework of emotional skills. Skills that we can develop out of our personal emotions. At the heart of why emotions feel so pointless, so useless, is that the bigger picture of emotions feels too complex, too confusing, too chaotic, and illogical, too illogical to do anything worthwhile with it. So what we want is a structure that not only is sorting emotions in a logical way, but we want a structure that we can do something with. Because emotions rarely feel like that. They feel like they are near impossible to do anything constructive with. So that's what we want. We want a structure that is actionable. And that is the title of today's episode. Actionable structure. A structure of emotions that we can actually do something with. So if we pay some attention to the pause framework, we see that it is organized in 5 branches. It is organized in 5 situations, 5 emotions, if you will. And each branch, each situation has a name, a symbol, and a color to make it easy to use, so that the structure feels easy enough to grasp, so that we may make use of it in split-second decisions. It has to be childishly easy to grasp the structure of it. And that's why we have 5 situations with 5 easily recognized symbols and 5 primary colors. And everything about it is done to make it actionable, so that we may make use of emotions, turn emotions into skills, actionable skills. We can start by looking at the situation down in the left corner. It is called sleep. It is denoted by 3 letters Z, like in the cartoons when a character is sleeping and these letters come out of their mouth. And the color is a dark blue, feeling like the night sky. So sleep, 3 letters C's, and a blue night sky. And this situation has to do with our sleep situation. How we sleep, our sense of safety, our sense of predictability, our sense of feeling at home in our life. And of course, its opposite, not being able to sleep, not feeling safe, not feeling any predictability, and not feeling at home applies as well. Then we move on to our second situation in the upper left corner. It is called acute, and the symbol is an exclamation mark, and the color is this yellow-orange, like a fire. This situation is about all those sudden, dangerous, potentially violent situations when we are minding our own business or we are just going about our day and something happens or someone happens that shifts the emotional situation in a split second, just like that. That is our second situation. All those sudden, dangerous situations. And then for our third situation, we will move down to the bottom right corner, the situation called worn out. And it is denoted by 3 dots. And the color is red, this deep red, which is actually fading into this black. So red, black, fading. And this situation is when we feel completely famished, completely maybe famished is the wrong word. When we feel worn out, when we feel too tired to go on, when we feel run down, isolated, lonely, like we cannot take one step further. And then we have our fourth situation in the upper right corner. And that is the situation we are talking about today in a meta kind of way, in a meta discussion. It is a situation called confused. It is denoted by two question marks that we really don't know what to do. And the color is white grayish, this confused white gray shade. And our confused situation is for when we do not really know what we are looking at. We don't know where we are coming from, we don't know where we're going, we don't know where to put anything. We just feel paralyzed, confused. And then we have our fifth situation, which is in the middle, up top. And this is a situation called long term. It is denoted with infinity symbol and in the color green. And our long-term situation is for when we think about, worry about, or are concerned about our future, where we are going. And these 5 situations, these 5 branches, are entry points. So this actionable structure is designed so that we pause for a second or two, and then we just determine which situation are we in right here and now. Is this a sleep situation? Is this an acute situation? Is this a worn out situation? Is this a confused situation? Or is this a long-term situation? And as we have determined what kind of situation we are in, we move on to the specific skills under that situation. And there are 3 specific skills for each of the 5 situations. And then we just pick one of them, the one we know, the one we feel inclined to use, and then we just try it out. And that's that. We pause for a second or two, determine what kind of situation we are in, and then apply an emotional skill accordingly. And that's it. critical part is to learn how to identify the situations. And it will take some time getting to know the structure to be able to, in a split second, decide what kind of situation are we in. So it is like a familiarization process to get to know this actionable structure, and then with time it becomes second nature. And in time, as we get an intuitive feeling for this actionable structure, a lot of situations in our everyday life that felt complex before, now might just feel downright logical. And the way to learn this actionable structure is to listen to the episodes, familiarizing yourself with the subjects that you have a natural interest for. It is always the best to follow our natural interest. That way, when we learn it, we will remember it. Maybe not always explicitly, but deep down in our core. And the point of this structure is to help alleviate our feeling confused. When we feel confused, we become paralyzed, and we cannot really decide on anything. We are stuck in our tracks. So what we need, what we want, is to sort of gain some structure so that we can be on our way, so that we can see what is our next step. Often we do not we do not need to know more than our next step. Often one step is enough, and then we can take another after that. So if you're feeling confused and you would want some actionable structure emotionally, you would want to create skills out of your emotions, just look into the subject matter that feels the most alive to you. That is the way to go. And emotional skills is vast. We can spend endless hours ever refining our skills. So there is no point in rushing these things. Rather, we let them come to us piece by piece, day by day, through our routines, through our pebble after pebble, if you will. This is the way to do it. And in time it will become enjoyable as we get a sense of this actionable structure. emotions start becoming something else, transformed into something useful, something on our side. And that is a very nice feeling. Feels like having an edge, if you will. And that is nice. That's it for today. Thank you.